We all have our excuses. What are yours? Oh, I've had such a bad day. I'm too stressed. I hate the way today went. So and so made me so angry. Nobody even knows I exist. I can't ever get anything right. What is wrong with me? And probably 50 more if I thought about it. Whatever your excuses are, they're no better than mine. They're no worse than mine. They're just excuses. If you've come to my channel because you want to lose weight, if you're holding your breath because every time you try, you just think this time, just maybe, and maybe you want to try something different, and maybe you realize there's more to it than just what you're eating. If you feel like you've failed 100 times and you're afraid to hope again, you're in the right place because this isn't about food. It's not about self-discipline. It's not about looking a certain way or being a certain way. It's about healing. It's about being tired of the mountain of reasons that you tell yourself it's okay to eat. It's about being tired of the excuses you allow yourself to have. It's about being tired of how guilty you feel after you eat all that food. It's about being tired of the vicious cycle that maybe you recognize as a cycle now. It's about being tired of hiding in the dark and being tired of hiding your pain under a mountain of, in my case, cookies or ice cream or eggs or whatever floated my boat that day, and sometimes 3 times over. At 350 pounds, trust me, I could binge 3 times in a day. But that's my story. But what if today was different? What if today you were completely honest with yourself, not to punish yourself, not to beat yourself up, not to tell yourself that you're feeling miserably every time you try, but to set yourself free? What if this time you don't start with it being about shame, but you look at yourself and you feel a little bit of love towards yourself and you realize that this cycle is so vicious and so hard on you and you want out of it finally? Because there was a day I started with love and I didn't expect to. It hit me out of the blue because I tried every diet. I tried to curb my appetite. I tried to stop my 5,000 calories a day. I tried every single gimmick, fad, and diet out there. The only thing that I learned is that diet is a 4-letter word. It had a beginning, it had an end, and the end was always me gaining back the weight after losing a bit. But one day, love found me, and my daughter came to me and talked to me about how much my granddaughters, who were 5 months old, little twin angels, would never get to know me because I had a serious heart issue. I had health issues galore and it didn't look good. And that hit home. And that's all it took for me to change and completely turn my life around. We all have a reason. We all have excuses. We all have a reason. It may be that you want to feel good. You may want to have energy. You may want to live to help your pet grow old with you. You may want to live for your own grandkids or kids. You may just want to travel the world and not have to use 2 airplane seats at a time. Whatever your reason is, if it's deep, if it's resonating, if it's enough to make you tear up, cling to that like it's an anchor because that is going to be what finally helps you stick to it this time. I lost 200 pounds, not by hating myself into it, not by punishing myself, not by starving myself, not by overexerting myself, but by realizing that I needed to do something with the pain I was trying to eat away. And when I realized that that's what I was doing, it changed my world. Pound by pound, emotion by emotion, I worked my way through it. I learned strategies. I learned good habits. I learned coping mechanisms. I learned to move my body, which had been isolated and still for years. And I learned mindfulness, how to journal about my feelings, how to pray about my feelings, how to deal with them finally without gobbling down a few thousand calories. I learned to stop running from the things that were driving me towards eating and to face, and I started for the first time in my life to show up for myself consistently with determination to do it right this time. And I did. And you can too. You don't have to do everything perfectly, but you do have to do one thing. You have to start. If you're watching this and you're thinking, yeah, but there is no yeah, but you can. I could. You can. I had everything against me. I was past menopause. I have no thyroid. I was on antidepressants. I was sitting still for years. And all I knew how to do was eat all the things that hurt me down, down, down my throat. But I turned it around, and I'm not going to say that the decision was easy to make. But once I made that decision, the next step was easier. The next step was easier. And I just kept moving forward. And believe it or not, the very hardest part of it for me was to make the decision to change my life, to not go on a diet, to not do something short term, but to change my entire way of living. My eating changed, my physical habits changed, my living habits changed. I didn't allow myself to live in sadness anymore. I sought the good things. I started to be grateful for the things around me instead of miserable about the way I was. I started to be grateful for the kindness and the people in my life rather than regretting the things I'd done wrong in my life. And I know that it's really easy to hear me say those things and say to yourself, yeah, but what do I have to be proud of? Well, if you lost 90 pounds 2 years ago, but you gained it back, you should be damn proud you can lose it because now you know you can. If you did something kind for someone over the last few days, be proud of it. If you're good at your job, be proud of it. You have a lot of things you can be proud of. I'm sure of it. And maybe it's just that you're a quiet, gentle soul who prays for other people, or that you're always kind to people, or that you're polite, or you're funny, or you're quirky, or you're silly, or you're whatever you are. I know you know there's goodness in there. So today, let's begin to not allow excuses anymore. Let today be the day that you say, yeah, I'm going to start. So if this rings true for you and it resonates, drop me a comment and say, this rings true, and I will help you. I answer every comment there is. I stay engaged, and I want you to join me on this journey because if I did it, as hopeless as I was, you can too. No more waiting for someday. This is your someday. So let's go. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and come back for more because I always have more.